To the first session of the third day of the conference. Today, the chair of the session is Dr. B.B. Parlikar, ex-director Geocycle and currently a global consultant. And with that, we would like to call the first presenter on stage. I shall hand the mic to Parlikar.
Good morning, everyone, and it's really a pleasure to see all of you. The presentation is Sustainability Consciousness and Collective Responsibility, analyzing the knowledge, awareness, and practice towards e-waste management among university students in India, Austria, South Africa, and Russia. And the paper code is A184, and the co-authors here are from India, we are myself, Monica Khanna, Dr. Satyendra Upadhyay, we both are from KJ Somaiya Institute of Management. We have Dr. Torani, she's from the Geetham Institute in Visakhapatnam. We have Professor Andreas Zertner, he's from the University of Applied Sciences in Austria, Steyr, Austria. Dr. Srinivasan Pillai, he's from University of Durban in South Africa. And Professor Nelly Kautovo, she's from the University in St. Petersburg, Russia. So we have made an attempt to collect the data from all over the world. Okay. So it's not only
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the flow of our presentation, the introduction, the conceptual model of factors affecting the e-waste management, the research methodology, data analysis, conclusions, limitations of our research, and the list of references. So I'll give you a brief introduction. First is that the digitization and networking process that started in the 1960s in the world has become a worldwide phenomenon in less than 15 years. The average number of electronic devices and connections per capita worldwide is estimated to be 3.6 in the year 2023, with USA leading at 13.4 devices per capita and the Western Europe at 9.4 per capita. Now, there has been continuous smart innovations by various companies that has led to frequent launches of upgrades and innovations in electronic devices. And rising consumerism and marketing by the companies has led to the tendency by consumers to throw away their own electronic devices or exchange them for the purchase of new ones with enhanced features, multiple device ownership, you find students having 2 to 3 mobile phones and laptops, all of this facilitated by attractive financial schemes for purchase of new electronic devices. So because of a lot of consumerism, each of us has got multiple ownership of electronic devices. Next slide.
This one as well.
Okay. There has been an alarming rise of electronic waste and its associated challenges for disposal of the e-waste. That is a used pen drive, a used mobile phone, a used laptop, a used charger, and all that. The global e-waste generation was estimated to be 53.6 million tons in 2019, out of which only 17.4% share of e-waste was actually documented to be collected and properly recycled. So there's a huge data which is not available to us, with a huge amount of e-waste which is not being accounted for at all. And every electronic device has hazardous substances in e-waste such as arsenic, barium, beryllium, brominated paint retardants, and so on. And if these hazardous chemicals are not disposed of carefully, they will pollute the soil, they will pollute the water, and they will pollute the air, leaving humankind and all living beings, and plants, animals, being very vulnerable to disease and actually destruction. Because once it enters into our food chain, it's going to be very difficult to reverse. And the type of issues that come into our body, I think even medical science may not have an answer to the issue. The threat of environmental degradation is a real one for the humankind due to the human industrial activities and non-biodegradable waste generation. Out of this, e-waste management requires absolute attention. There is a need for collective responsibility for saving the planet Earth for the future generations. United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 12 is about sustainable consumption and production, which necessarily entails to respect the biophysical boundaries of the planet and to reduce current global consumption rates in order to fit with the biophysical capacity to produce ecosystem services and benefits. I think we ourselves have created a major wicked problem for the planet, for the current generation, and for the incoming future generations. So this study takes to analyze the e-waste management with respect to the personal electronic devices only, because of the huge amount of electronic devices that we all have, like mobile phones, charging units, earbuds, laptops, printers, scanners, music systems, really a small music system, and you just have to call Alexa, please play this music and it play. And then once it's live over, you just can throw it or give it to the Radiwala. We don't know exactly what happens with the roleplay. Okay, so the online survey was conducted regarding sustainability consciousness. Are the youngsters really aware of all these things? Collective responsibility, because we felt it is not an individual phenomenon, but it's a collective responsibility of society and e-waste management knowledge. We really have the knowledge, awareness, and the practice among the university students and professionals. We expanded it to professionals because they are the young people who have just got into the workforce, and many of them also have multiple e-devices ownership. And this was collected from India, Austria, South Africa, Russia, after making suitable modifications. So we did literature review, and there were various questionnaires, like there's a sustainability consciousness questionnaire, there's a collective responsibility for student learning, so we modified that questionnaire. Analysis of e-waste management in households in Dubai. So there was questionnaire for that. We took out portions of it and we tried to construct into a proper questionnaire for us. Knowledge, awareness, and practice of e-management, e-waste management through questionnaire, and then consumer intention to participate in e-waste collection program, and environmental awareness, sustainable consumption, and green behavior among university students. So these are the various literatures that we referred, and we used it, modified it, and made our question. So this is the conceptual model that we have made. These are the individual factors and the societal factors which lead to sustainability behavior and which leads to the practices of e-waste management. So going further, this is how we broke it up. So these are the various constructs. There are 11 constructs. Knowledge C1, awareness, sustainability, consciousness, and practice. Environmental concerns, personal consciousness, individual intentions. And the societal factors are economic drivers for e-waste management practices, government drivers, and the collective responsibility. All of this together leads to sustainability behavior, that's the C10, and then the practice of e-waste management, that's the C11. And this is the research methodology for methodology.
Based on the literature available and the current problem of your addressing, we have taken adopted the explanatory research of your and we developed the questionnaire and associated the questionnaire to several parts of the country, several parts of the world, like India, Russia, and Myanmar, and all these places. And as if you have done it, it's a pilot study. For this period.
So what we have done in this the data collection, we try to look into the demographic first because we want to understand how the age groups are reflecting on that. Then also we look into that their education, the background, because that also indicate how much they are aware or conscious about the e-waste is concerned. And we are also thinking about we have tried to find it out how many devices they have ownership. Some like all of us, we know we have at least 2 to 3 devices. Maybe more about that. So that also we are looking into that. And we are also trying to find it out, how frequently people they buy their devices. Because we look at the more frequency you buy, then you are going to add in the waste management, e-waste about that. So very significantly, we have seen 200 plus we have received, and also frequently whether people they are buying a month, maybe 6 months, or maybe the annually, because accordingly that also the preparedness has to be there. And we are also trying to find it out, what are the methods for the disposal is there, whether they are going directly, I'm sure many of us just we don't know actually where to dispose this e-waste kind of thing. So that also we are trying to find it out. Many of them they are saying almost 50% they are saying they are unaware about that, how to dispose about that. So these are the some we are looking into, and we are also looking to little bit.
Sure.
So how much they are aware about their effects, whether the barium is there, cadmium is there, or mercury is there, aluminum. So how, because whether it is going to work in the effect on the lungs or brain about that, and many of them most of them they are not aware about that. So another factor we are looking into. Next. Anyways. So we are looking into like how the policy wise, how many of them they are aware what the policy is concerned, and whether if they know the policy, how much they are, how effectively they are following it up. And also we are looking into that whether, because we are all living in a community, is that someone is nearby you is taking initiative of that email, or also like whether these guys are for all of us or some of us we are participating in this kind of activity. So that we have tracked all those kind of very good results coming, and especially when we are doing the multi-country analysis, then we can see the significant, like, some countries, they can't think about like policy perspective because everything is so standardized. But in India, that's the other side out there, people, they know the policy, but it is not working. So these are something we are looking into that. Okay, thank you.
Slides.
So based on this, we have received 196 at the by 26th of November, and we applied the Smart PLS software for analyzing the data. And still we are working on, we are in need of some 800 plus respondents. This is just a pilot study here. Next. Very better. And it is the respondent to the vendor, 2.9% female has been responded, and 46.7% of the male have been responded.
Yeah.
And these are the various educational levels. We can see most of the postdoc people have been participating. These are the ownership of the electronic devices. Here we can see the most of the thing which electronic devices they're going to personally own is the mobile phone, followed by the laptop. Yes. And how frequently do they going to purchase the e-devices? 27.5% saying that for every 1 year they're going to purchase the e-devices.
Yeah.
And how they're going to dispose the older ones? We can see they store at the home, that is the most of the people have been responded, and then followed by they're going to give away to the family, the friends, or things. And here we adopted the Smart PLS scope to test a conceptual model. And here this is the measurement model. What we can see here, all the variables, that means the factors, the constructs, and the items have been satisfied all the required conditions. And we are tested for the convergence and reliability and the validity. And we can see the results showing that the model is very convergent, and it is a very validated because all the results are above 0.5, and the convergent value, and we're going to say it is very reliable, and it is the values of 0.7. Next. And this is the
Correlation.
Please remove that from the dot.
Okay. Oh, wait.
On the right hand side. This option, right? Coding controls.
Which one?
Yes, this one.
And
You want to do it?
yeah. And from this, we can see by using the whole and wrapper partition, we can see there is a discriminant or validity, and we can say they are very much correlated, and all the items below the above are satisfying the criteria. And now this is our structural model. What we have done is we are taking the individual factors and we are taking the social factors, and how these individual factors and the social factors are affecting and impacting the practices. And we also we are very far tested or reliability and validity, and ensure the results are very good, they're satisfying. And these are this indicates the collinearity. There is no collinearity in your data set. It's a very good. And this is the discriminant validity for our structural model. So we'll be getting good results. And these are the descriptive measures of a latent cluster. What we are seeing, the sample, what is the average sample and what is the average variance here. And if the p-value is a very significant, that the individual factors are significant practices and even the social factors are very significant practices. Next. And finally,
yeah, so the country,
Nelly is also online.
Huh?
Nelly Kozlova is also online. Yeah.
I think I did.
Yeah.
So the conclusion, and we're sorry because of lack of time, we have to rush through everything. We've been told to rush, so we are rushing. So conclusion is that most of the respondents store their e-devices at home. I mean, I think another big factor that we found out is that security reasons. Suppose I have an old mobile with some photographs and some data and all, are very reluctant to just give it away, to a Ratiwala or some electronic store and all. Or they give it away to a family or to some maids or something like that. Around 23% of the respondents are completely unaware of how to dispose of e-devices. People have no clue. Awareness levels, this is very point to note, that awareness levels regarding chemicals. That, in the electronic device, there's cadmium, there's lead, there's barium, there's nickel, and what are the harmful effects that it has on our health and the environment. That people, there is a big vacuum as far as it's a complete black box. People have no clue at all. And I think this is even more dangerous as we go to the lower income strata because they themselves are, they may be digitally literate, but otherwise literate. And how do you control for all these things? I think that is something which really, I think, is a big cause of concern and for policy making by the government. There is also very high level of awareness among the among the students and the professionals for sustainable development goals. But I think if we went down the strata, I am sure it will be zero. Most respondents agreed that raising awareness of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals among university students is very important, and there should be basic courses on environmental management in our curriculums. The proposed model, which includes individual and societal factors for practices of sustainability behavior and e-waste management, has been proven through our model by the use of the SMART PLS score. And it is only through collective responsibility that the wicked problem of e-waste management or waste management is going to get resolved, especially in our country, where the population base is too high and the respect for the law and all these things, people may not really adhere to the government rules and regulations. The limitations of our research, one is that this is an exploratory research, it's a pilot study, and our data is still being collected. So we have floated the Google form among various universities abroad, and data is still being collected. The data collection must also be carried out on a face-to-face basis among households, because though we did the survey online among university students and professionals, but I think the household is where the real issue is at. So the face-to-face basis among households for greater understanding of e-waste management and what are the practices and knowledge levels. In-depth interviews with various government agencies for handling e-waste management is required to be carried out. So we can meet the the concerned authorities from the DMC or from various other organizations which are actually responsible for all of this. Also, I think somewhere we should also meet the company officials who manufacture all these equipments and whether they have any instructions on their part for how do you handle e-waste. Once the life of the equipment is over, you want to upgrade.
Over. Thank you.
That's all?
No, yeah.
Okay. So that's the example. Thank you.
Thank you.
He was showing me the 2 minutes, so I think
Yeah.
I don't know if we've got audience. Yeah.
Any questions?
So you're probably can.
Sir, actually, just we're very happy. I think so. Two professors from this institute, one is Shatandranath and then Professor Monica. So they are trying to cover all the aspects regarding the US management. So I think it's a very innovative study, and especially for the people started from, it's a very authentic. Other than the presentation, you already mentioned that.
Yeah.
Just my one researcher, she's also trying to cover that from the smart scale software.
Yeah.
That's very also important to cover. How can you quantify the problem within the functions within the layout? So just I want to know. I'm not very familiar about the software. So how can we check the accuracy within the definition of the software? Can you do ideas?
Yeah.
This will be for research. Yeah, I think that's just.
Yeah.
So how can you check the accuracy of the errors? Because the model. Yeah, that's the maybe if you go from and
Yes.
you send it to all the interviewers.
Yes.
They just fill up that.
Yes.
You got the result.
Yeah.
Then the raw data. And
Yes.
you would use the data as the input of the software.
Exactly.
So how can you check the accuracy? You check the authenticity of that.
By using the.
It's not a question, just I want to highlight, but I think we not want to understand.
Yes,
We
yes.
required.
Yeah, by using the construct and imported data. Construct and validity test, that means once we calculate the data, we have to do the data processing, data cleaning. And once the data is cleaned, and especially the smart data software,
Yeah.
we can upload any type of the file, either CSV or the Excel.
This one?
And what? So after once we upload the whole data, well, after the cleaning, and we have to see basic model is there. On the basic model, we have to develop this structural model by identifying what are the constraints, and then after developing this model, then we go for the testing. That means in assessing the validity and dealing with the data, the model was tested for convergent validity.
Yeah.
That means this convergent validity can be done by in the software. There are various options of that. You can go with the that means either with the reliability test, validity test individually. But instead of going with the individual things also, what we can do is we can go with the with the formal backward test. It's also will be displayed in the software on the right side. And in that test going to cover the whole criteria of all the three measures. It shows the loadings, the individual items, how the individual items have been loaded, and then you can see the average variance, the AVE, and it's going to tell the variability of each construct as well as the items of all your model, and then the composite reliability or the CR is going to get. These results have been presented in the table 1. Here, this convex alpha and the composite reliability, we have to check these two columns. Here, you have to see range value should be greater than 0.70.
Yeah.
If that means the value is greater than 0.70, that is, your data is more reliable.
Okay, thank you.
More reliable. Yeah.
There's just one addition. Have you selected a model?
Yes, we have to. That means it has to be done. The brainstorming,
Yeah.
we all sat to work in. We are 15 hours for developing that model. If you
Yeah, showing the BLSM.
After this is there, no?
First, show the model. Yeah.
okay, yeah, this one.
Yeah, I'm coming.
We are going to develop initial discussions. That means after going to the literature review and after having the team, there's a team discussed about this model, and we came up with this model, and we identified how this model can be tested.
Yeah.
And for testing this model, we are using the software. Yeah. Okay, so the first step is create the model and then exactly. Before you process the data, there is a creation of model step. Exactly. Oh, this thing you have to do it. And based on this, that means parallelly you can develop your questionnaire.
That's the concept of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Because based on that, we will be able to build the statistical background.
Yeah, better, yeah.
Outcome of the brainstorming.
Yeah.
Exactly. This
So
is the
what
basic step.
we actually did was we did a very detailed literature review. We got all the factors together, and then we tried to make a model out of it.
Yeah.
And then we tried to prove the model through the questionnaire and data.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I have literature based.
Okay, what I was trying to do is get the data first and
No,
then.
no, no, no.
No, that's why you have to identify what is your first order constructs and the second constructs and the related items. Then only we can proceed further.
Actually, in good
Yeah, and the more systematic is your literature review, the more you will get, the sense of the entire, what we are trying to research. I think that sense will come from the literature review. And then, we had various research papers from which we carried out, the questions, and we have adapt them.
presentation चल रहा था इसका.
Yeah.
Yeah. मैं आ रहा हूँ
So my question is that as I'm also very new to the software, and I have found that in that software, I work with the Likert scale in questionnaire because we have to input the numbers only, right? That in your questionnaire, I saw there are some multiple choices questions. So how did you input it? Did you input it in number or in text? No.
Coding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will answer this question. I will answer.
Yeah.
So, the multiple choice was the demographic profiling. The smart PLS is only the multiple choice questions. We take the board. For the model development, we'll be taking the questions included under the Likert scale. You can take the Likert scale or 1 to 5, or you can even take 1 to 7 or
like this one.
For your construct, that is the latent variable is there. To measure the latent variables, we have various items here. So all these items going to measure. That is a structural model. That means in the measurement model as well as in the structural model, we have to measure each variable and we have to see any collinearity is there. If there is no collinearity, you are safe. If any collinearity is there, again we have to go back to the data and again we have to rework on that. That means something is a problem in our data.
Also, one more thing I just want to share with you that once we made the questionnaire, we shared it with our colleagues in the other foreign universities. And based on their suggestion, we made some changes.
Yeah.
And one important change we have noticed in the questionnaire, we added one do not know. So, especially whether there is barium in the, mobile phone or nickel or something like that. So, agree, disagree, and we have a do not know.
Yeah.
Because most people we saw were completely blank. We don't know what study. Yeah.
They are taking the inputs from there. And even after running
like
the model,
here you can see this. Yeah. Right, don't know. Do not know.
No, it's not open. The question is not open.
Okay, One.
No, I think the point is very valid.
Yeah.
If there are no further questions, I think we should pause.
and after we have got 18 items, from 18 items, 17 items have been removed since they have not satisfied the reliability and the conversion.
And also, we want to inform you, we use the smart PLS software because our sample size is small.
That means
We can use SEM also.
SEM also we can use, but the SEM is so that data should be normally distributed. The advantage of this PLS then we can even work with the smaller data set as well as the huge data set, and they don't need to be or not normally distributed. That is the advantage of this software compared to the SEM.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Very good presentation.
And also like to thanks our co-authors, those who are online, Nelly Kozlov from Russia and Andreas from Austria and Srinivasan Pillai from University of Technology in South Africa. So thank you. Thanks to all of them for their contribution.
Right,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the presentation. Thank you.
Next, we have A151.
Good morning. I am Jawahar Sadhu, presenting technical paper entitled Characterization of Recycled Plastic Waste in Recycling Shops of Pune City. So, West Analysis Campaign. And there are some co-authors, Mr. Philip Lauer from Germany, Professor Bari, Professor Islam, Mr. Sporker, Mr. Hassan, and Mr. Noman from Pune University of Engineering and Technology. So I have put some basic overview of our project. We work from a project. The project name is Sustainable Capacity Building to Reduce Irreversible Pollution by Plastic, and in short, ACF Plastic Project. So we have 5 working group, working group 1, working group 5, and this result is the output of working group 2 recycling shop assessment. And we have 8 implementing and political partners to impose the suggested legislation to the recycling sector of Bangladesh. And the outline of the presentation is coming from the background of the study and ending up with the invitation of a conference which has been hosted in Kuwait. And now I'll give you some background research like plastic has been a very important global issue. And this is now not a country specific problem like in India or in Bangladesh or Germany. It's a global problem. And especially in developing countries, the urban municipalities are facing so much difficulties to manage the plastic waste. And in Pune City, the Pune City Corporation has been facilitating involving the stakeholders in the waste sector to manage the plastic waste by incorporating the recycling, informal recycling sector also. And here you can see the picture. Whenever you have a chance to look on a research paper, and by focusing in developing countries, maximum papers, you will see this kind of figure. So, and now here you are also seeing it, but we are not promoting this picture anymore. And for this, from now on, we will try to provide this kind of photos involving the plastic waste recycling. Like plastic waste recycling has become very promising in terms of managing it appropriately, and in Pune City, we found 35 recycling shops and dealing with more than 6,324 tons of plastic waste yearly. And the recycling shops for Pune City are acting as a safeguard of Bay of Bengal for non-accumulation of the plastic debris. So this is the purpose of the research. We started with the identification of recycling shop in Pune City as a baseline. We didn't have any information on recycling shop as the number of recycling shop and any other information. So therefore, we started with the identification of number of recycling shop, and we tried to calculate the recycling plastic waste in the recycling shop. So basically, we started with the conceptualization by discussion with our German colleagues and our professors, and we have designed our research. And initially, we started with the survey, and the aim of the survey was to just basically identify the recycling shop in the city. And then we have selected 5 recycling shops, those who were intended to help us to conduct a waste analysis campaign. And later, we have also involved a stakeholders discussion to get their opinion, like to find out the challenges those who they are facing. So we have tried to find out the number of recycling shops in Pune City, and we found 35 recycling shops, and we have put it in the map. And at the same time, we have also constructed a plastic flow architecture of existing recycling practice in Pune City. And you can see here that it is starting from waste collection and then sorting and then recycling and then the output products. Like you can see there are 4 types of waste collectors, and these waste collectors collect waste from different sources, and then they sell it to the recycling waste trader. There are 2 types of recycling waste trader, and we, in local name, we call it Hakani shop. So we renamed it as a recycling waste trader. And after the recycling waste traders sorted the plastic waste, they sell it to the recycling shop, and then the recycling shop owners, they produce recycled items like recycled plastic plates, plastic products, and also the byproduct is non-recyclable, and there are some unutilized plastic waste. And we have also tried to find out the problem. We know that recycling shops are recycling the plastic waste, but still the problem is in the city. So what is the problem? So we try to find out that we have segregated the process of plastic waste recycling, and the plastic has been recycled into 2 essentially categories like PET bottles and mixed plastic waste. And in PET bottle recycling, there is 2 options like intersecting level and shredding. And non-recyclable plastic are being generated from these 2 states. And for mixed plastic waste, there is sorting of mixed plastic waste, and from this state, non-recyclable plastic has been generated. So most interestingly, for the mixed plastic waste, if one recycling shop declares that this is non-recyclable for this shop, but another recycling shop can recycle it. And we have conducted a 7 days continuous waste analysis campaign by staying in the recycling shop, and there are some basic items we followed, like staying in and working in the recycling shop from 9 to 5, and we have measured all the input and output data by taking measurements from our measuring scale. And we have also followed safety gears, as there are a lot of other also recycling the recycling shop. And the measurement of input materials and output materials, we have just measured the input materials to keep the record and to monitor that from where the waste are coming, like the source of recycling waste are there from within the city or outside the city. And for output materials, we have measured all output materials for going out from the recycling shop. And we have also taken samples to further characterize the plastic waste. And except for collecting plastic sample from recycling shop, we have taken 50 grams of each sample, and we have taken 77 samples, 77 types of plastic waste from the recycling shop, and later we have tested it. And there is a safety precaution during the campaign, like hand gloves, saffron, capsule shoes, goggles, etc. And this is the data set we utilize to report the data. And you can see here that we are connecting near-infrared spectroscopy to analyze the chemical composition of plastic waste. And on the left side, right side, you can see here that the workers, waste products, recycling shop, they are doing the same by their own knowledge. They are not having any near-infrared spectroscopy, but we did it with the near spectroscopy. So they are doing it very well, and if they cannot sort it properly with the chemical composition of plastic waste, so the owner won't be able to sell the plastic waste. So here's the output of our waste analysis campaign. You can see here the total input material was 21,000, around 21,000 kg in 7 days at 5 recycling shop, and output was 31,485. So, and we have later extrapolated the data considering the whole year, and it was nearly around 6,324 tons per year, and output was like 5,356. And we have also conducted the chemical composition analysis, and we have found different types of plastic waste like PET, PS, PET, PVC, etc. And here are the local names of plastic waste that the recycling shop used to separate the plastic waste. And this is the Happiness plastic waste that the recycling shop, and that we still need this is time constant. And this is the NIS spectrum of identified plastic waste, and I'm also describing it. And for the classification of the non-recyclable plastic, we have conducted FTIR and NIR analysis for the specific non-recyclable plastic, and we found the material is basically PP by FTIR spectrum and NIR spectrum. And we have also conducted a questionnaire survey within the recycling shop owners, and just to find out that what they do actually with the non-recyclable plastic, and we found that mostly they burn the non-recyclable plastic nearby stop. Sometimes the city corporation people, they come to collect the waste. And we have also calculated the environmental benefit, like you can see through the recycling of plastic, it can be contributed to the reduction of carbon dioxide emission. And we have found some challenges by the recycling shop, like the mismanagement of plastic waste and open burning of non-recyclable plastic, environmental license agreement, renewable issues from the Department of Environment, and designated place for recycling shop, and also the integrated pricing of recycling product. So we are hopeful to work on these issues to patronize the recycling practice in Khulna City. Concluding remarks, you will see that the 5 recycling shop in Khulna City manage substantial monthly input of 90,000 kg of plastic waste, and we are working on to incorporate the Khulna Plastic Recycling Business Association to be more active to patronize the recycling practice. And here is the offers and acknowledgement, and here is the invitation for our website conference, so it will be held on 2025 February 2025. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, just actually, I am also the author of this project. Actually, I am Professor Abdul from Bangladesh. Actually, so actually, we are doing a research project. So, this project is funded by the Japan Federal Ministry. The main focus of this program: how can we use the plastic from as source? Because it's one kind of approach for the circular economy. So it's a one-time research. That's we are trying to cover all the aspects. Especially very challenging to manage the non-recyclable plastic. That's like the level of the, water bottle. Sometimes because of it. That's why we have the limitation. That's how can we quantify the non-recyclable. Then how can we quantify the chemical composition? That was the first time that we procured the equipment. There is the NRI. and we copied it from the ceremony. Right now, in our quick campus. So we are trying to cover all the aspects. So how about what's your comments actually? Because also I am the co-author, I'm the project of this project. Regarding the what's your suggestions? How can we manage the non-recyclable plastic? There's a bit challenging stuff in Bangladesh. So what's your suggestion? How can we overcome this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we are still working on it, and according to our present findings, we have conducted life cycle assessment for the end of life treatment of non-recyclable plastic, and we found that essentially landfilling could be a good option for initial disposal of the non-recyclable plastic, and we are also considering waste to energy option for converting energy from the non-recyclable plastic. So the Pune Corporation has already planned our waste energy plan. So we are also optimistic to send some waste to the waste energy plan and check out what is happening there. So, but according to the LC results, the sentient landfilling is good option for now.
Okay.
Have you evaluated cement kilns? Cement kilns for managing the non-recyclable plastics?
No, sir.
Can you explore that, because in India, that has been found out to be the best option. And there is no residue further than we got of research. More than 2 million tons of plastic waste actually gets utilized in the cement kiln next door without any carbon. And globally also.
At some point from your lecture on the innovation waste, yes, surely you can consider it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll consider your comments.
Sure.
So you know, sir, put here in the middle of the 2026. So this is a note of it. Very important points.
Thank you. I'd now like to call upon 826, assessing the garbage literacy among the children of urban Pune. Next, I'd like to call 896.
Good morning, all of you. Those who are watching us online and those who are present in person. I'm here to represent the Policy Advocacy Research Center today, and we are having presence in entire India, and we are working in the policy space for multiple sectors. We have verticals and horizontals in Policy Advocacy Research Center, and each division is working with different sectors, economies, and their social impact subjects. So, thank you. So basically, if you see the maps, we have the presence in all the states. Those are there. And we work with the government organization, business, and since our session is in business, community, and informal sector, we are currently working on that space as well. The next slide, I would like to highlight that why the solid waste management is important to us. This is one core area that is having a systemic problem since years, and the systemic problems needs the systemic intervention. And this takes time. It's not that it will not change in a day, but it will take multiple interventions at multiple scales and multiple time gaps to reveal the entire sector and to correct it from the bottom to the top and top to the bottom likewise. So this was our intention, and our report was our chair, Ullas Pallikar, was one of the draft reviewers of my research. And this report is the outcome of vision of a system thinking and how we can relate this to the waste management sector and how we can get it collaboratively done in multiple intervention areas, since the grey sector, breaking formals, recycling, primary processing, and then to the central level ministries. So this report basically reviews the current scenarios. We talk about the challenges, we talk about the opportunities in the sector. This is the report which is first time applying the system thinking approach to the entire solid waste management scenario, and we have almost 198 stakeholders, which can be a really good game changers in the entire thing. So if they are motivated and they are collaborated well and supported with the policy interventions, in a proper direction at timely intervention, timely manner, the sector can be a huge opportunity. And currently there is a low industry status for the waste management. That is one of our demand actually. Once you get into the sector, then all the sectoral timelines, boundlines, laws, regulations will be in place, and that will uniformly give the opportunities to all stakeholders involved in the solid waste management value chain from scratch to the entire life cycle of any product. So this is the model that we propose from our VARSA stakeholdership approach, and we have the 8-step change model. And we have these questions for each step will guide you how you have to think about every problem that you see. So the urgency of tackling the problem, we have it. Then second stage and third stage might be interlinked together or intertwined, because you might collaborate with the people first and then make a strategy, or otherwise you have some strategy in place and then you try to figure out how to make it work on the ground. So with that said, two and third, that will be your systemic intervention and the project-based priorities of each one. Then stage 4 is the communication plan. How do you communicate everybody and make it to consensus? Then what are the obstacles when you try to eliminate everything and try to streamline everything in that particular problem? And do you have some remedial measures to this obstacle change? Then again, what we say is what gets measured, it's get counted and it's get rectified. So what are your key performance indicators and how you are going to take it ahead from your performances over down the line 2 years, 4 years, and again, so till the problem is completely solved. Then how are you going to sustain the change in this? And after the change is there should be no reversal of this change. So how you are going to make this adhere, make the stakeholders adhere to what you have strategized and what you have come to the consensus, and that should be taken forward and repetitive, quantitative, and those analysis. So you have to measure the adherence as well. And if they are not adhering, then you have a problem. Then you have to revisit your strategy, what is going wrong, where it is going wrong, and then you can, pull again other remedial measures to correct. This is the entire picture that we propose here. Sustain, and there is a third line, the 8th problem, actually institutionalized. So if you notice that your problem is getting solved with the repetitive measures, you have to try to institutionalize that particular problem. And then once you institutionalize, you have a backing of government, you have a backing of your stakeholders at national and state level, and then you can probably get the major impact. So your pilot gets scaled up to the state and national level. This is what PART is working at. We believe in aligned actions. We are not working in silos, as I mentioned. We have verticals and horizontals. So we internally also discuss many things, how that can be collaboratively intersected into the multiple, because waste management is not a sector. It's a output of multiple sectors actually. So they are intertwined each other. We believe on stakeholder support. We believe on new innovators. We believe the market dynamics that has part and parcel of a waste management, because the trend analysis and the CAGR ratio, as that get increased, the other factors of the waste management also are directly proportional to that percentage. Then we also believe on the streamlining organizational governance. We have a strategy to create short-term goals for a big picture. So we don't talk big picture first. We start taking baby steps and then we get to the point. We also believe on the data-driven approach because whatever interventions we are taking, we believe on what we see, what we observe, and what we have the data about. So it's the informed decision making and informed decision, conveying also to the stakeholders so that they are complying. As of now, for the solid waste management sector, these are 15 gaps, which we have found to streamline the entire system. It may be a plastic, maybe a e-waste. You go to any category of the waste, irrespective of that, we have all these the 15 parameters that are actually having those gaps, and there should be interlinkages between all these. And once we start streamlining it at all angles, then only we will be able to build a comprehensive policies at state and national level, perhaps. Then this is what we have a vision for a solid waste management property. If we get a chance to reach to that level, this is we have to define our objectives first. We have to define our stakeholders and do our backbench and all the next work very proper to align everybody's interests and everybody's orientation as well. So initiating the process starts with the stakeholder engagement, feedbacks, and all the analysis of their feedbacks, and then the planning. Then engagement strategy has to be continuous throughout the policy making process, because then that gives additional data inputs, additional insights to the policies, and this policy can be convergence of all the stakeholders who will be part of policy or who are impacted by the policy. So the system thinking in that policy making also is an important part, because then the policy should be start from scratch to the top to the bottom or bottom to top, but it has to be interlinked with the system thinking approach and to map the stakeholders accordingly. Then the integration of feedback that I just mentioned, keeping the stakeholders loop at every stage, and then we can submit to state and these are the focus points: effective advocacy, cross-sector collaboration, research and sectoral interventions, regulatory interventions, government support, etc. And with that, I would like to say that this is the first thing that has culminated from 2021 to 2023 as I stand here. This is the collaboration of industry, academia, think tanks like us, and the ground level implementer. We are successful enough to have a curriculum which is now being discussed with the industry for institutionalization purpose, and these small interventions will take us to the big picture that we envision. I would like to thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
I'm just here.
Yeah. Actually, not a question. Actually, I'm very happy. Actually, that's the one side.
Mike.
Trying to cover all the aspects, but I'm very wondering regarding the responsibility action, changing the waste space,
especially because you mentioned that it's related to the policy rather than the financial aspect. So, what kinds of challenges did you are facing to run this approach, especially for your organizational sector?
Okay, this is very nice question. Actually, I'll take an example. I was talking to Institute of Chemical Technology, Matunda, and this is an elite institute which gives education to the engineer students, graduates, and postgraduates. You can see the scale of the challenges for coming them to consensus. I took it actually 3 to 4 months to pursue them and to get them to the stage where they can write something about the power sector. Then we have a challenge of local regional language. They wrote the content in English. We wanted it in Marathi. So the Marathi also is the technical. So most of our chapters are technical, subjects are technical. So we found it really difficult to translate into local easy language that can be comprehended by the people who are not educated enough. Most of our cohort, 671 cohort we have currently, most of them are not educated. And majority of them have not passed 7th. So minimum literacy level, but still we are also we also try to give them handholding at every stage, right from the enrollment to the exams. We even provided them the reader student association helped us.
Yeah, why I am asking this question because in the last maybe is the eight is the solution, but in the 7 and 8 you mentioned that you have planned to improve even the provide the solution.
Yeah.
So still you are facing the lots of difficulty regarding the institutional level, but you mentioned that you have a plan to improve even in the solution.
Yes.
I think it's a very challenging issue. Right?
It's a challenge, but we have taken this challenge. And at the launch event also I mentioned that this is down the line 20-25 years I'm talking. So it's not that we are taking the initiative for just 1 year, maybe when the next.
Where is the success?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. With us now we have Professor Dr. Darshan Sesar, sir.
Yeah.
So we will now be circling back to A214 before we speak for. Sure.
Good morning and sorry for getting because I was also with some of the so I have to be there. Before I begin, I guess I have already missed a good opportunity to understand the problem statement very well because that presentation earlier is one of my problem statements. So I normally my area is computer science. I work here in the Department of Data Science and Technology, and my core research area is natural language processing and scientific analysis. And I'm doing it for Marathi language, basically. That's why I said I missed the good opportunity which I can actually utilize and use it somewhere. So the idea is basically we write something. We normally people keep on writing things on WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter is one of the platform people are using for even e-governance, prompt to response. And now people are knowing that if people write something on Twitter, something and then very immediate government will be very highly active and inactive on the basis of that. So can we utilize these texts for understanding the sentiments of your people, your organization, your students maybe, or stakeholders? So understanding these, but when it comes to local language, like in our case it is Marathi, okay, and many people are doing this kind of work in their language, but in Marathi, very few people are working. So in 2019, I started working in Marathi. Before that, I was working purely in English. Then we got to know that there are so many people which are like added to the digital summit in after 2016 and the digitization era. And people are using it like any one of my other people was on the WhatsApp groups, can it be used for literacy operation management? But can it be used for literacy management in Marathi? And can people understand that people also have sentiments about it that they're not happy or very happy with how their regional body, maybe municipal corporations and all. So we are trying to add those digitized and undigitized chunks in between. So I did some literature review on the basis of English, foreign languages, and there's some other local languages like Telugu, Gujarati, Kannada, and how they are working. But I found it that most of the people are actually working on positive and negative. But this is very, these are very general sentiments which can be seen on the street as well. But I want to understand whether they are angry, whether they are happy, they're very sad. When I say very, very unhappy with the services, that very, very should be rated in the terms of points. And then the results should come out that the sentiment is not very happy or very happy in that case. So how we are going to do that? So many people are working on that, but again, most of the people are either doing it on a recipe kind of things or some YouTube video and their reviews or Google reviews of some particular product and service, and then they are trying to utilize it for their business applications, maybe or for doing. Whereas we are trying to use it for a better quality. Can be a e-governance, or can be like if they are education institute, it can be about the new education policy or some other things. And what is the sentiment of state about that particular policy? Can we do that, like at least district wise or area wise? Because Twitter gives us that facility of understanding universities which came from that particular district or area, geolocation. Can we segregate the sentiment on the basis of geolocation and so on? So all these papers, they are mostly working on Hindi, some other regional languages. Hardly, I guess 2 or 3 people are working in Marathi language sentiment analysis. I'm happy to join their group. Okay, so this is how we are going to do that. So there is 2 ways. One, which we can use quickly in the passive Python. So like it helps us to get all the tweets from the Twitter and then pre-process it, use it for your own areas. Or else Twitter is nowadays paid. 50 developer account was earlier free. Now they have paid. So I found another WebStrap. WebStrapping is like there are so many microblogging websites which are available. I wrote a program which can fetch all these text, necessary text with the help of keywords. What is the keyword? Let's say domestic waste man. So it will find all these reviews or tweets on the basis of this microblogging website. It will fetch from that code. It will create a Excel or CSV, whatever type of file I want. Then it will be used as my data set. Okay, so generating data set also will be one of the byproduct of this code research. Then, depending on that, we will check. Like all the regional languages have their own time. Marathi maybe there are one they also have it. Sometimes they are very sarcastic. Sometimes they are not very literal what they are talking about. So can we understand those sarcasm as well throughout the text? It is possible. Okay, there are bigram types. 100 readers. So हम लोग ना 2 वर्ड 3 वर्ड साथ में यूज करते हैं. Normally when we pre-process all these commas, dots, we will remove that. But then these type of words also sometimes they are called stop words. Stop words are words which don't have meanings sometimes. So that are not removed. But this dictionary is not available for Marathi language. We are going to say. Okay, and make it available for all the researchers and people who want to use Marathi language. Okay, so bigram, trigram are basically these type of words. Also, locations, tags, like people or locations can be tagged. Again, we are also going to convert. Like when we write, we have a habit of putting emojis in. Without emojis, we feel like we didn't convey our message very clear. So these emojis will be converted into text first. Okay, obviously it will be converted into English. Then English will be converted into Marathi. So there are Google Translate facilities available which help me converting all these words English to Marathi. And then these Marathi words, this stop word at all, then we. Okay, so all these pre-processing we are trying to take care of. But at the end, we get something which is called as data frame in terms of programming language, which is converted to either CSV, Excel, text file, and then considered as a raw material format. So these are the basic programs that we have. URL review karo, hashtag remove karo, then smileys converted, emoticons converted. Understand what is required, what is not required. There are many challenges, technical challenges with this. There is underscore and there are some symbols which are look like underscore, but they are not underscore. That's why software will not remove that. The filtration will not remove. You will have to literally copy it and use. The tokenization is like basically when I say we are J1K, so 5 words, it will break it into 1 word each. Then that 1 word each will be checked for the sentiment. What is their score? This pura sentence ka score. This way we can create the full 5 ka score, and we can also check hundreds of 5 ka score to get. And that is how NLP sentence for natural language sentence. The score is collected and then it is rated. I'm just giving overall things. So web scrapping means this is Alex. If I use Alex as one of the library scores, then just provide the link. And the program will complete with all these text with gameplay processing stuff and then create a data set and then we. So basically, we are going to create a model which can help people to gather data from anywhere. Whichever is the source, we just pass the link. I'll create a Python package. And then simply pass the link and do your things for whatever you want. Again, these are some technical things we have achieved. Okay. Same thing, we use the pattern converting. We can also like predict things. If I write a single word, a single sentence, it will give me 5 different predictions of what can be the next sentence. Okay, and like, depending on that, I can predict what can be the response of my stakeholder for that particular thing. Okay. This is again the way the technique by which we are going to achieve the sentiment analysis. We try to figure out what the purpose to be removed, name, entity, is it a college, city, person, or what, and then some diagrams and diagrams and the basis of that. Okay, I'll then jump to the application areas. There are many applications. It is open for all. Anyone can use it. Like feedback-based AI is nowadays we are using AI for almost all. Generative AI. This can be used for your AI-based sentiment analysis, marketing analysis, social media, Maharashtra government election prediction. Maharashtra government because I am working in Maharashtra. That's why. Okay, and you know, after 2018, Maharashtra government is like not less interested than roads. So you can keep on checking with all these things and like identifying and detecting the mental illness. We are also working on this. On the basis of his or her history on the social media, you can figure out that some person is going through the breach. We are working on that. And we can hint that person earlier, we can understand, and then we will also hint the local authority that someone is also going through some problems. Maybe that person needs some consultants. Then, feedback system, very simple. That's it from me. Sorry for the I think it's very good.
Yeah, actually, it's very good. Analyzing social media very widely, would you need a consent permission from government to use this?
No.
Why?
Social media we don't need.
Okay.
Websites. Since we are using websites, so normally these websites are designed either for web trafficking or not. Okay, we don't need permission for that. We just need a URL. If your URL is there and Microsoft are there, we can obviously give an idea that we are using your source for studying from Twitter. Could we say that this is my project research project, that's why I'm using. Let's say if I'm working with PSIP, definitely I have to take. If it is a private organization, I have to. If it is a public or sector,
Okay, so from government you don't need any permission, but through private place
it is openly available for all the companies.
So I just wanted to raise the concern.
Even that translation problem can be solved very easily.
It's ChatGPT in Marathi. This will be ChatGPT in Marathi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Any other question? Rather than ChatGPT, it will be like more sentimental. ChatGPT is just giving it helps us, but it will be more human touch rather than AI touch.
Okay, thank you very much. A very nice presentation. So we move on to the next one. We have A216. Something there. Examining consumer purchase. What about A1? Mumbai Plastic Recyclable Community Model for Plastic Waste Management. Rupali over here.
Not there. My name is Gopal, analysis power in the Department of International Street from Ayurveda University. And I'll be doing my presentation along with Dr. Safito Upadhyay, Assistant Professor from Ayurveda University. So my format of the presentation will be, I'll be telling the objectives of the research. I'll be giving a brief overview of international history. I will explain and show you the flow of international waste from different countries. I'll explain the reason for this waste trade. I'll be explaining with the help of two case studies, e-waste trade and shipbreaking industry, and look upon the international conventions on waste trade and look upon the waste trade. So the objectives of this research is to understand and glance upon the different dimensions of international waste trade and to explain this trade using case studies such as the mobile e-waste, recycling and shipbreaking industry, and assess ways forward for reducing the ill effects of international waste trade. Yeah. So, an overview of international waste trade. So, it is international trade of waste between countries for further recycling, disposal, or other further treatment. And most of the time, the problem is with this toxic or hazardous waste that are mostly exported from developed countries to the developing countries of Asia, Africa, and South America. And since 1988, for more than 4 billion tons of plastic waste have been exported all around the world. And this explains the magnitude of this international waste trade. So coming to the statistics of international waste trade, it is projected to grow to 5.1% in the next 5 years and to 42 billion in the next 5 years. And market segmentation of the waste is hazardous waste materials, e-waste, plastic, and biomedical. So these are the major players in this waste international waste trade industries and key drivers in this waste trade, such as regulations and also the technological advances that is promoting the large amount of waste, producing a large amount of waste. And Asia Pacific region is going to be the largest producer of waste and also the importer of waste projected by 2026. So coming to the flow of international waste, we can see that most of the waste flows from the developed global north, developed advanced technologically advanced global north to the global south countries such as the countries in South Asia, Southeast Asia, Africa, and Central America. For example, most of the primary exporting countries are United States, Canada, United Kingdom, European Union, Japan, Australia, and it is imported to countries such as India, Turkey, Mexico, the Southeast Asian countries, and others. So, why such a waste trade? Basically, after the 1980s, they saw a huge potential from the profits made during it. Also, because large amount of waste was generated, and also because of publics not in my backyard syndrome, because nobody wants a waste disposal system in our backyard. So the advanced country, India, also India, if a waste disposal system is planned, there will be protests. So this syndrome created this waste to be shifted from the developed world to the undeveloped world, and also different regulatory policies for waste management. Developed countries have strict waste management policy, but even though developing countries have regulations, they may be lax or they may be failed. So it creates problems for the developing world. It creates problems such that the waste get dumped to the developing world. So coming to the e-waste trade, e-waste is, as you all know, is the electronic product that is discovered after the end of its useful life, and we are carrying recycling e-waste for the precious metals such as copper, gold, iron, and but most of the time here, as said in the previous presentation, it contains a lot of hazardous components such as lead, cadmium, and such things. So it is a health hazard, and recognizing the human cost to the environment and people, developed nations have, they have stringent measures. But in respect to developing world, stringent measures either exist, but they don't exist or they are not enforced. So coming to the, this e-waste trade, coming to the flow of e-waste trade also, the US, Canada, India, China, and Australia and such countries are the main sources of e-waste, because India and China are all the biggest users of technology and also the biggest producers of this e-waste. But when you see the flow of e-waste, we see that it is flowing from the developed world, global north, to the global south, to the Mexican, Central American nations, to the African nations, to the Eastern European nations, and also South Asia and Southeast Asia. Major, these e-waste recycling sites are in Accra in Africa, and also Delhi and Bangalore, and also China. So that's also a big issue. Also, transboundary movement of used electrical equipment. This is the 2018 data. We see that controlled exports are about 1,000 metric tons. So 1 million uncontrolled exports are doing it from Asia, but uncontrolled imports is about near close to 2 million. So we can see the scale of the issue. So the next case study is the shipbreaking industry. Shipbreaking is basically the dismantling of an old vessel at the end of its life cycle. And as we all know, ship also has a lot of reusable parts. But the problem with it is a very labor intensive and hazardous process, and because of this, most of the shipbreaking industries are in the global south, such as countries of India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and China, and also Turkey. And International Labour Organization has considered it as the most dangerous job in the world. So shipbreaking industry, we can sort of see the flow. Most of the Bangladesh is the biggest shipbreaking, has the biggest shipbreaking industry with 234 ships coming in 2021, followed by India 210. The third is Pakistan with 119. So, is the global south fighting against? Yes. Canada, Philippines had threatened for war if Canada didn't take back its waste from Philippines. So Canada took back about 60 containers of waste from Philippines, and also UK also took back its plastic waste from Malaysia, about 42 containers, and China has promised that it won't take any more about plastic, import any more plastic waste. So the global south is also fighting back. So international conventions, we have the Basic Convention on 1989 against transboundary movement of solid waste and disposal. We have the Rotterdam Convention on needing prior informed consent for certain hazardous chemicals and pesticides, and also the Stockholm Convention on persistent organic pollutants. So are these conventions working? Partially yes, partially no, because if it had been working, then this international field wouldn't have been in much of an issue. So this trade exemplifies the inequality present in the international order, and it creates conflict between the global south and north. Lessons should be learned, such as the mercury poisoning, which resulted in the Minamata Convention. So we shouldn't wait for this. For research to happen and learn from it. We should learn from the mistakes, and life and security of people are the assets. So it is more important, and innovative solution-based management should be adopted instead of procuring from an affordable environmental catastrophe. Thank you.
Any questions? Do we have any more presenters in the room? Do we have any more presenters joining us online? Well, since we do not have any more presenters, before we go for Sir Chair's comments and conclusion of the event, with your approval, sir, I'd like to make an announcement. The conference tomorrow is organizing an industrial visit. The industrial visit has been organized to Godrej Construction. Godrej Construction is one of the 14 strategic business units of Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing. They have established one of India's first concrete debris C&D waste recycling facility at Vikhroli. So far, the plant has recycled up to 30,000 megatons of concrete debris into recycled concrete products, preventing the waste being dumped into overflowing landfills in Mumbai. Using circular economy and design principles, the facility manufactures various types of recycled concrete blocks, pavers, and customized precast concrete products. The visit will be tomorrow after breakfast, and the delegates who opt for it will be coming back by lunch. There is a fees for the visit. It will be rupees 700, including food and transport, and it will be rupees 600 without the food, only the transport. Apart from this, if you would like to immerse yourself in a cultural experience, there is also a Mumbai Darshan immersion for the whole day tomorrow. The cost of which is rupees 2,500. The interested people may inquire with any volunteer for the registration. Thank you. Now I hand over to Sir Chair for his opinion.
Thank you, presenters. It was a very interesting session. We had the keynote address, the first one, on various aspects related to the data and its assessment. Then we had the characterization of recycled plastic waste in recycling shops of Khulna City. Very nicely presented and interesting insights from there. Then of course we had the waste as resource by changing stakeholder approach, which also brought in very important conclusions. Although it is as the presenter said, 25 years kind of a approach that we are looking at and we agree to. It is certainly a it's a slow change process, and change management, especially at that scale, it certainly requires a lot of time. And then we had the recognizing sentiments in regional language, very interesting concept. We hope that something like that will come up out of this. But for me, it was very amazing the way research is happening in different areas. It's like bringing out meanings out of garbage. It's very interesting, and it gives a lot of opportunity to bring out very innovative things out of apparently nothing. So great, good work I'm seeing here. And then of course the international waste rate of the hazardous and other materials. I'm very happy to see the assessment which has been done by the presenter. It is a concern, the movement of material, especially when we are talking about transfers of liability which are happening, in the process. It is not the nuclear transfer. It's actually the liability which is getting transferred. And that management of that liability, in most of the cases, people don't understand. Because they feel they are getting resource, but they are getting some kind of material, but actually. And that's where I think the discussion that we talked about value addition, understanding, whatever we discussed today in this particular section, each one of the aspects I think makes sense in coming to some solution for a period of time. So I thank all the presenters for making these presentations. I thank the audience here in person as well as who are online to participate and listen and get the benefit of the deliberations of this session. I thank my colleagues who are managing this particular hall very well. I'm so happy the second time I'm seeing both of you. Very good job. Excellent. As the professor said, probably, it should be made compulsory for the presenters to be here, at least all night or otherwise, because we are missing the opportunity of listening to some good work which is happening and which is getting published. So I think I will also put up to the conference organizers, some way, the gist has to be present. It's not the entire presentation.
What happened to this body?
Yes.
When I saw that there is an interesting thing, and I prepared myself, I will not like it.
Right.
When I saw that that's the title, and I came here and I looked for some. I didn't that long.
Right.
But when I saw the video of the audience, I'm very worried about this.
No, I agree with your sentiments. I agree with your sentiments.
Yeah.
And
when you submitted the articles, you should present.
you should. I agree.
I think it's a long time.
No, it is not just to make these stakeholders aware.
Yeah.
Also to get the feedback. There's a lot to learn with the feedback.
Yeah.
More than what you present, what you have. So I am of that opinion, and I think we'll certainly make it a point to inform the organizers that this should be encouraged. We cannot mandate, but certainly we can encourage by some means. Maybe through incentive mechanisms. I don't know if the organizers will deal with it. And I'm also a part of co-chair, so I know this conference. So we'll try to work out something. So thank you very much, everyone. So we will conclude this session today. Yes, sir.
So please take a group photo.
Definitely. That's the next step. Yeah. Yes, of course. Yes. Yeah, of course. The liabilities they need transfer in every which way. You're saying something. I have been to make okay. You remember that our man people. Hey, sure, okay. So we have a video presentation of this particular project. Which I would like to present. So very happy to do that because we are all here to learn, and whatever is available to is displayed to us, we are happy to learn.
You are happy.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
This plant is located in Andhra Pradesh. We are from Jindal Waste Management Plant. Actually, Mr. M.B. Chari present is taking care of the project. In India, we are having total 4 plants, around 75 megawatt in Jindal. Okay, another 4 plants are in pipeline. Okay, it is around 70 megawatt. Now we are from Visakhapatnam, from Guntur. 4 plants are located in. Maybe we are handling 100 tons per day each plant and producing 50 megawatt power. Next page. Yes. So these are the ways to generate globally and as well as per capita of the standard here, 200 grams per rural area, 500 grams per urban, and 1,000 grams per residential. Projected to 2031, it is 85 million tons. In the Delhi scenario, sir, there are 4 waste plants, 14,000 tons per day generation. Mumbai 10,000 tons per day, but no waste energy plants. Kolkata 7,500, no waste energy plants are there. Chennai 6,000 tons per day, no waste energy plants. Bangalore 10,000 tons per day, no waste energy plants. In Hyderabad, there is one plant. Waste energy 5,000 tons per day. And these are impacts which is on local dumping. There is a generation of paper of 153 kg per ton of NHW and 2,000 kg of tons of NHW, 1 ton of NHW. And land required is 2,400 hectares of 10 meters height per year. And this is the leachate which is mainly very dangerous to groundwater as well as soil, because it has a very high content of COD and COD levels. This is the Indian scenario where the MSW per day generation as well as legacy waste. It is 13,000 million tons of legacy waste in India. It may projected 16,648.
These are the waste to energy plants in India at present, total 11 plants per day. Recently, Jindal has 4 plants. The last plant is recently inaugurated in Maharashtra. There are scope of 1,000 tons per day plants, 300 plants per year. And these are the global scenario. China has 900 plants and Europe is 800, and Latin America, Japan, 400. Singapore, small area, they have 4 plants. In India, there are 11 plants, the scope is 300 plants. First incineration plant in Netherlands in 1937, where the rules are found in Japan in 1900, where they program. This is the case study of Japan. Most of the technologies they use, like our technology, they use in the waste incineration, but one main contribution is mass incineration grade technology. Case study of Europe, it's 800 plants. It's more 30 years we are practicing this. 3,800 biomethanation operation. And most in Europe, mostly whatever the technologies available, they guide and they lost 4 billion euros. These are the technologies which we adverse for open waste with high volume mass incineration, existing dump biomining and using of RDI to this incineration plant. And mainly for restaurant, hotels, slaughter market, fish market, vegetable market, food and flower market, incineration technologies, biomethanation. And these are for PMU, it is already there and practicing, but most of the market. These are the standards which are given by solid waste management rules as well as international standards, and we are almost meeting international standards. So
we are maintaining the pollution norms, but we are maintaining our plan.
At 21 plants in Tokyo City, one city there are 21 plants. One plant in Switzerland, named in the center of the city. And here, I think there is a waste of the plant. These are the mills mainly for mass incineration. The direct and retirement communities are also there nearby. So this is much better than the four-day plants. These are the NDP penalties in recent years. Mainly, only AP has exempted from NDP penalties due to AP plants. These are the plants which these are about 75 megawatt which represent 6,400 tons per day. Okay. In pipeline 4,800 tons per day and 59 megawatt activity. These are the plants. These are concept of project. Design, build, finance, operate and transfer basis. So it's a public private partnership. Net cap bidding is through net cap. New renewable energy or tariff basis. This is the agreement between Jindal, ULGs and stocks. Life of agreement is not there. And this is the scenario of our operation for last 2 years. So 1 year
almost 8 lakhs for each plant. We continue 8 lakhs for waste. And we produced around 238 million each plant generated power generated. And sir, these are the teacher we have treated around 75 lakh, 75,000 KL in Guntur and Visakhapatnam. This should not mix with our waste. We informed all our municipalities. These are the waste should not mix with our waste. Because it will damage our taste. And this is our CSR activities, our JMD inaugurated for livelihood of rack pickers. And we submitted our CSR fund to our nearby district collector. And we paid lease amount of 1.5 crores at Guntur and nearly 6 lakhs to our Visakhapatnam. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Officially conclude the session, and I would request the delegates to move on to the ground floor of this building. And we will be starting with the next section. Actually, it's time to start the next section. If you'd like to join, you can join back in the next 10 minutes. We're waiting for our participants to come in. Thank you. Do we have any more presenters in the room for the 11:30 session? Session 2, do we have presenters?
First speaker is Sadar Kumar.
And the first presentation is supposed to be a Professor Josh, but he can walk in the meantime and be after we move on with the next presentation, materials and methodologies of a research article by Professor Prasanta. We have the presentation.
All good.
Okay, so let's listen to the first presentation.
Sir, so you can acknowledge Madam Chair also. She's here.
She's here?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aga Sensei, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. Okay, but I think it's better for Aga Sensei to chairing on site. But is this my turn?
Yes,
to make presentation.
Yeah, you can advise us about writing research paper. You
Okay.
You like to make presentation or you like to speak only?
Yeah, if possible, I want to make presentation now, but I want to share the screen. So
okay, please do that.
Yeah. So the conference secretariat, please give me the host.
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing that right now.
Yeah.
And now you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you very much. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, to give me this kind of opportunity. So I'm talking about the international activities of the Japanese society, and also my recommendation related to paper publication and so on. So I'm now working at LIN, Research Institute of Humanity and Nature in Japan. So I left from Kyoto University, and I'm now a professor at LIN. And also, I'm a board member of Japan Society of Material Cycles and Waste Management. So I will introduce academic activities and also paper publications or some related issues. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email address is here. Mezase 530. So 530 means waste zero. Yeah, the target is waste zero, the meaning. So first, I want to introduce the history of Japanese society. So Japanese society was established in 1990. So 1990 is the first year to establish the first recycling law in Japan. So you can maybe imagine about the atmosphere. So, and then this is the largest waste management related academic society in Japan. And we have been conducting various researches related to the waste management and also recycling, and these days circular economy issues and decarbonization, etc. So here is some example of domestic activities of our society for your information. So we hold annual conference in autumn, takes 3 or 4 days. Approximately 1,000 participants is joining. And we have international symposium and also English presentations, so sessions. So if you are interested in, you can join, especially Indian delegates. You can attend without the participation fee, because we made new MOU between our societies. And also we hold one conference in spring in Kawasaki. So annual conference is held in the different places every year. So for example, this year we hold that in Osaka, next year in Tsukuba, and 2 years later Hokkaido, etc. Yeah, so we have 2 big conferences. And also we publish one Japanese academic journal in Japanese, and also the normal books for citizens and some books for experts. And also we have 14 research groups, including landfill, governance, planning, history, characterization of waste, incineration, consumer behavior, and biomass utilization, material flow analysis, recycling, industrial waste, education, and IT or DX, and disaster waste. And also we have 7 local branches and young researchers group, and very active activities by these branches. So this is the whole structure of domestic activities. And also I want to introduce the international activities as well. So from the beginning, we have placed great emphasis on international cooperation and have had regular exchanges with several countries, including Korea or like Aga Sensei, Malaysia, Indonesia, China, etc. And the international committee, consisting of approximately 20 people, including me, has been established within the society to discuss international expansion or international cooperation. And at the same time, we collaborate with the editorial committee for English journals, and also we collaborate with the academic committee for 3 links. I will explain later. And since 1997, we have been publishing an English journal, Journal of Material Cycles and Waste Management, and the number of submissions has increased every year. The impact factor has also increased. So I will show the trend later. And in 2014, we started the International Academic Conference, so-called 3 Links, with the aim of creating an international network, especially in Asia Pacific region. But so many people is coming from not only this region, but also EU country or US. So this time, maybe most of you know, so our society, Japanese society, make agreement with Indian society. Yeah, so MOU on attendance at each meetings and information exchange and publications and promoting cooperative projects. So thanks to many the cooperation, we can establish this kind of MOU. Yeah, and this is the summary of my recommendation based on my experiences in Japan society. So many academic journals related to waste management and resource circulation, circular economy are being published, and the number of submissions and impact factor are increasing year by year. So it is necessary to choose wisely depending on the content and the quality of your submissions. And my recommendation is if you participate in a high quality international conference, your abstract will be published. DOI number will be given. Or you will be invited to participate in a special issue of the academic journal, the full paper. So it may be efficient even if you take into account the participation fee. So I will explain about the example on 3 Links and our journal. And by sincerely cooperation, participation to be peer reviewer by yourself in high quality academic journals is very important, I feel. So you will not only improve your own ability to write good papers, but you will also build trust with academic journals and their editors, raising your status and potentially leading to future joint projects. So my recommendation is of journal briefly. So starting from 1997, as you can see, these years, so rapid increase of the submitted papers. So, and so you can see the pages as well. And yeah, maybe most of them are interested in the impact factor. So as you can see, these years, the impact factor is over 3.1. And when I check this morning, this can become 3.3. So maybe in this fiscal year, it must be over 3.5. And interestingly, this is country-based submission numbers. Yeah, as you can see, so India is the blue colored, and the most, the important submitters. So the most, the large number of submission is from India, next to China. So thank you very much. Thanks to you, we can get so many good papers. Yeah, but the publication number itself is a little bit changed, but Indian is a very important partner, the same. And also, I want to introduce about the history of the international conference. So the first conference was held in Kyoto, Japan in the 2014, and almost every year, we hold the Asian country was hosting. So the next year is Korea, Vietnam, and India in 2070 in New Delhi, and Bangkok, Thailand, and Japan again. But this was cancelled by COVID-19. So we hold 2 conferences online, 2 years. And this March, we hold this in Kyoto. It's very, very fruitful chance. And also next March, we will hold 3 links in Sydney, Australia. So you can check our status. But my recommendation to the wise utilization of this kind of conference and the paper submission is here. So at the conference, you can make a presentation, and this must be very good networking because more than 300 or 400 people from all over the world is joining. And so based on this network, you can do further relationships, further projects. And also the conference itself has many kind of fun. You can enjoy the culture. You can enjoy the discussion with your friends, etc. Yeah. And after that, there are 2 options. So one is full paper publication to the special issue of our journal. So you need the peer review, but for special issue, we will in a hurry to publish the paper. So you can get the special service for publication. But if you will take more time for full publication, you can submit your abstract to the conference and proceedings. And if you want, you can get DOI number. So you can use your the abstracts as a kind of references. So you have 2 options for paper publication, and also you can have a chance to make a network. Yeah, so we are now start calling for the paper for next 3 links in Sydney. So if you're interested in, please check. So in Sydney and also online participation can be available. So you can check your schedule and also this conference. Yeah, so again, my recommendation is here. So you can select any kind of journals now currently. And if you can make wise the selection, so you can both attending the conference and the publication. And the last one is to be a good reviewer. Must be very good, very good activity for you. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I left Kyoto University and I'm now working at the Research Institute of Humanity Natures. This is one of the Japanese National Institute for environmental studies. And then this is located in Kyoto. And now we are happy to announce RAIN has started the call for 2024, the invited scholar. Yeah, so if you are interested in, please visit our website. So you can stay 2 months, 3 months, based on the research activities in Kyoto.
Hello.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Ali. I think we will move on. You will be available for Q&A.
And if we have another 2 more papers, will you be available for Q&A or you want to answer now?
Thank you very much. Yes, good afternoon. My name is Prashant Pade. I've been to you several times, but I could really see that you are all the new ones. Okay, so I will be introducing myself again. My name is Prashant Pade. I'm Professor of Operations Manager. Astor is a student, Astor University. Astor University is in Birmingham, which is the center part of it. So I was at Astor University since 2004. Before that, I worked with University of Cities in Barbados for 5 years. And prior to that, I was with industry. I worked with Indian Oil Corporation Limited. All of you know this company for 30 years. By training, I'm an engineer. I did my mechanical engineering from Jadavpur University. And then subsequently, I started working with Indian Oil. Once my first academic endeavor was with University of Prestigious, as I say. I studied my master's in industrial engineering from Asian Institute of Technology in Bangkok. And I did my PhD again from Jalapur University while being in the industry. So I have good experience in working in industry as well as in academia. And although my direct affiliation is with Aston University now, but I am connected with many universities in India. Adjunct faculty to guest lecture, to loads of projects. So good exposure in India, but all across the world also. Okay, my research interest is sustainability, supply chain, quality management, project management. I'm an operations management person. Today I do loads of research related to circular economy adoption, and I am here for a couple of days attending this conference in connection to one of my projects, which is going global, industry academia partnership, where KJ Somaiya is one of the partners. Okay, but here I am not talking about going global project, but trying to give you a perspective where I am coming from. Okay, I am also editor-in-chief of International Journal of Energy Sector Management, which is, there is a journal ranking, if you are aware. We call it ABBC ranking. Okay, so we are in the C category. This journal started in 2007, and I am one of the initial editors. I have conceptualized this journal, proposed to Himalayan host that, they are the publisher, and I'm continuing as an editor. Okay, so it's it's almost 20 years. Okay, it takes time to really get into the ranking. We have good impact factor, and we receive, in a week, I'm editor-in-chief, I see all the papers. We receive paper from more than 40, 50 countries, and mostly from India and China, because the population is very high and quite a good short researcher. Okay, we get paper from Africa also, many years in now. We receive paper from Europe as well, UK, and North America. So, and Australia as well. So, good paper we get. And our acceptance rate is around 40%. Okay, but not from the beginning. We investigate a lot. We just think of the investigate part of it. So, it is difficult to really get into this journal. So, what I would do in this session, I would try to give you some, do's and don'ts. Although I have been asked to really talk about only abstract, but I think that abstract and methodology, and other colleagues might be talking about the other part of it. But I would emphasize on that. But what I will do, I would try to really give you a perspective of every aspect of what I do. Okay, from my own perception. Before that, I would like to really know that how many of you are academics, how many of you are students. Okay, I'm just trying to really classify you in three parts and how many of you are from industry. So first of all, let's understand the academics. How many of you are academics, including me? I'm an academic now. So you all are academics. So I could really see that many of you are early career research. But I think that all the academics have experience in writing paper. I'm sure about it, isn't it? Okay, so you have written paper. And so I have also written paper, although I am journal editor, but really I am also author. I look at things from researchers straight today. Okay, while I receive the paper in my desk. Okay. So how many of you are students, not yet written any paper, not yet written any paper, article? Okay, so few of you have not written paper. But I'm sure that you are interested in writing. Okay. And how many of you are from industry? Okay. So many of you are industry. So can I ask you, why are you here? We are talking about writing research paper. So no, sorry. I think you have an interest. You can also write research. Okay, because in industry you do lots of research. I would like that industry people should come forward and work with academics, putting a good paper. And if I ask you that if you ask me that, why do we write paper? At the first place, why do we write? Academics will argue that, okay, I need to really get promotion. my, the management will not give me promotion unless I write paper. So that's why I write paper. Okay, but perhaps the answer is not that. We like to really promote our research. We like to really take our research to the bigger audience. And that's why we like paper. We need to communicate what we are doing. We might be our best researcher, but no research is research unless we publish it. So we got to really do. So while we are talking about, I think that although we are talking about how to write a research paper, but the research is very important. So sometimes we try to really forget. Even I've seen that the university management would be just forgetting the research part of it. They would be emphasizing on the output. So if paper is the output, research is the input. Okay, but people would be arguing. I've seen the colleagues, very senior colleagues also after spending 20, 30 years in the academia. They will argue that I can write paper without doing a big research which is being funded by the external bodies. Okay, they might be arguing that I do research for writing a paper. That is also not possible. Okay, there is a possibility also. So look into, consider research and research paper in a research. So you really find out that, what you do. Do you write paper and then, do research in order to write that paper? Okay, or you have a big research and you try to publish out of it. So you might be in anywhere, but try to really distinguish that. I've seen that sometimes I write paper from a big research. Okay, as I said that I work in sustainability and circular economy. I have a big project in the UK, which is very recently funded, £4 million funding from WMCA, which is West Midlands Combined Authority, which is a government project. Funding from UK SPF, which is Shared Prosperity Fund, which has replaced European Regional Development Fund beyond Brexit. Okay, because from European Union, we used to get funding for improving the society, infrastructure and all. From the contribution that Britain used to make to European Union. Now, because of Brexit, Britain is not paying anything to European Union. And that pot of money is being spent by the government within the society. And we got part of the funding, which is £4 million funding, to help if we look into the industrial supply chain, mainly West Midlands, which is the central part of Britain, where we are based at, is the most of the industrial supply chain. Okay, so they want to make the small and medium-sized enterprises decarbonize. And they have interested Aston University in a very competitive basis to help them along with government houses. So we are working with small and medium-sized enterprises to make them decarbonize. Okay, so that's the research part. But why Aston University academics are involved in this project? So we have done research in this area before, and we have contributed making the small and medium-sized enterprises decarbonize. So we are involved in this project. We brought all our understanding how to make it, what needs to be and how to calculate carbon footprint, how to map supply chain of small and medium-sized enterprises. We have done all these things. And we collated all our ideas and proposed that. And we are helping this company. Now, this is a big project. What paper we will be writing out of it, also we need to really decide. So, my way of working is do research project and then develop research paper out of it. But what this research paper will be communicating? The research paper will be communicating the knowledge out of that and how to adopt circular economy in small and medium-sized enterprises. It's a good question. Okay, how do we really adopt the methodology and the method within the small or medium-sized enterprises, say in Thailand, in Vietnam, in Kenya, or in India, or in a specific supply chain? That would be a very good knowledge, and that could be really adopted. So the thing is, in writing a research paper, what we have to really think of, what would be our overall aim? Okay, what is the aim of our paper that we try to really communicate? Communicate to both, that is also very important. Okay, whether we are communicating to researchers or practitioners or both. So your articulation should be very, very clear. So then look into that, what are the various objective or research questions you would be trying to discuss in that paper. Okay, as for example, if we try to really say in a central economy aspect, suppose if we argue that food is a major challenge, food wealth, managing the food wealth is a major challenge that we are trying to address. Okay, so in order to substantiate that the overall aim of the project, we need to really get the context properly written. And this context will come from all the statistics that could really be written from any of the published paper. So get those contexts properly jotted down and establish your main aim and try to really scope your paper through your research question. That's the first part of it. When you are done with it, then you move on. Okay, I will come to that one. So what I would suggest, while you start writing a paper, find before writing, sake of writing a paper or trying to really get the data from a particular research project, you require to develop a mind map. Okay, I do it in this way. That's my way of doing it. Other researchers trying to really follow their things. So if I have accomplished a research project, then I'm trying to write a paper out of it. I will sit down with, not with my data and information, groups of research paper. No, I won't do that. I'll sit down simply with a piece of paper like that. Okay, so I was trying to really take everything out of my mind. Okay, sit down in a good place, maybe, very quiet place. Okay, for the side of the river or so, or develop this idea where you are not disturbed, your mind is not disturbed. And try to really develop a mind map by, looking into that, what is my aim, what actually I like to really communicate. That's my main aim. And then vis-a-vis, what is the context? All these context should be established, I repeat, through the published statistics. Okay, so that you can immediately communicate to your readers the importance of it. So once you get that, then the next approach would be that think of your research questions, as I said. Okay, write it down as well on that piece of paper and move on with that. How you answer those research questions? What methodology you will be adopting? Again, you can't really go back to various literature to find out that which method will be best for doing. What data you have? Okay, because you have done the research. What data you have also have known. So write it down as well in this mind map. Okay, data will come from that. Again, because you have done the research, what are your major findings? What are the bullet points? Again, this should be in your mind or in your heart. So again, you are not referring anything, but jotting down the things. If you can paper back to get the accurate syllabus, but write it down from your first principle. Okay. The last but not the least is the implications. Okay. What are the theoretical implications? What are the practical implications? So the difference between practice and theory, the theory is that it could be applied everywhere. And the practical bit of it is this is really contributing to the specific industry. We say that managing the food waste in a particular industry that you have answered to that. Okay, you are able to convince this. Then last but not the least is writing down the conclusion. Conclusions are the end of statement. Okay. So what are the different end of statement you are getting out of your research? Jot it down. So my suggestion would be get all those things jotted in a paper. Everything is there in front of you and in your mind. You might be, before starting, drafting, you could do further iteration. Okay, or day off. I do always that thing. I get excited after doing. Carry on with it and find that okay, I've done a good job at that. Next morning, I find that no, it's not good enough. So I have a new mind. So it might be a couple of minutes you got to really a couple of days you got to work on it. When you are very sure that okay, it's working out well, carry on your work, and you will be able to really get a good paper. So I will stop here. Yes, so I can see the time is over. I will stop here. And then, if you have any questions, I can really pick that up and try to really share my experience on that. So what I would suggest that this journey is interesting and but painful too. Okay, and even the beyond that part, while you submit it, you get review and deal with it, it's also painful to learn. But it's a learning one, learning also. When your paper gets published, I think that's the highest joy. And I'm sure that all the academics who have written that would really feel that you have achieved something and accomplished something. It's the promotion for which we academic ability not work for. As I say, I'm sorry if I speak on that, but I would say that it's a contribution. It's a contribution to the society. And you keep building on that. That would be really important. Thank you very much for it.
Thank you, Prof. So, you heard the experience of how to write the paper, I think how to conceptualize and the work of the paper. I had slides. I have been involved with 20 journals, but beyond the level, there is waste management and research. It is a journal published by the International Solid Waste Association. So I have been the senior editor-in-chief of this journal for more than 20 years. Okay, so yeah. So I've been the senior editor-in-chief, and I have the responsibility of screening the papers that come to me. And below me, I have a number of editors. For your information, almost 80% of the paper that comes in gets rejected at my stage. And the remaining 20% goes to all the editors for peer review. So you can see the quality of the journal. So they're very strict. But sometimes it's very careless, the careless, when you submit the paper, you make careless mistakes. And that is the reason that the paper is rejected at the very beginning itself, at the chief editor stage itself. So after serving for 20 years as a senior editor-in-chief, now I'm actually the international advisory board member of the journal. So I'm still in the journal at a higher level to advise. Advice is free. So that's what I do. And I don't know, but I'm still a reviewer. And there are another, the journal mentioned by Professor Ansari, Asari is now, I'm also an editor for the journal, the French level of material cycle. And I'm also involved with the journal from Tsinghua University, China, as an editor. And there are, as I said, many school journals and a reviewer or editor. Anyway, I'm not going to talk much about my CV. And now, this is what I want to talk, but I will not go through the contents like what I stated here because time constraint is one thing. Another thing, Professor Bosch told me to focus on a few aspects of the paper. I think so. I will focus on that. Why do we publish paper? I think Professor Andar mentioned just now. You have different reasons for publishing paper. Academic, of course, you need that as a requirement. And the students can tell me what is your requirement. Because like many universities in the world now, a PhD student needs to publish at least 2 international scientific journal papers, and master's student must publish 1 paper. So I'm sure something like that may be also in Indian universities, I'm sure. So that's a requirement. You see, like my university, if you don't publish 2 papers, PhD student, you cannot graduate. That is the requirement of some admissions. So you need that. And then, like, of course, everybody wants to disseminate your research. That's the idea. I mean, you do a thesis and it sits in the library, nobody sees it, and that's the end of it. I think that's not what we want. We want the work that you've done to be disseminated to the whole world. And now it's much easier because of all the social media that's available, not like those days, Now it's much easier. You can put it on Facebook, WhatsApp, you can put everything you want, and then it gets published very easily. And now people also can do online publishing, so it goes, all over the world, just like that. So dissemination of information is very, very important. And actually,
And look at the last point, people don't read print journals. That is the fact nowadays. You ask any academic, people don't actually read print journals. I mean, it's wasting money and wasting time. They don't print journals, hard copies actually nowadays don't be read. That's another thing. And so we have a lot of new publishing models. I think you all know open access. Of course, sometimes open access people argue in the sense that you have to pay. You have to pay for open access journals. And it's very expensive because some of the European journals, they charge like 700 euros now. That probably is the pay for professing. Even only the developed countries can afford, but there are still journals that accept papers and then they don't charge you page charges. So you have to look for the right journal when you want to publish. And some things haven't changed. Journals retain the status with the academic community, where whatever you say, we need the journal. Research grants depend on publication because when you apply for any research grants, the first thing they ask is how many papers you have published and where have you published it. So that gives kind of ranking for you. So, okay, you have published top journals in your area. So that's one other thing. And then peer review hasn't changed much. I think you know what peer review, when you submit a paper, if the editor thinks that the paper is worth review, then only it goes to the next level. And then it is sent to 2 or 3 reviewers, and then they look at the comments given by the reviewers, and then the editor will make the decision. So if the 3 reviewers actually recommend that, the paper is useless, reject, or major revision, or minor revision, very, very rarely they accept a paper the moment it goes in. Very rare, very rare. In my 48 years of experience, I did one paper which was accepted within 1 week. I'm telling you the truth. Most of the time, you may be a professor, but when you send the paper and goes to review, the guy doesn't know you, and he may say that this paper is rubbish. Very rare, but it depends on how you approach it, and it's very, very important. And you have to select the right journal. This is one of the most important things. If you are working on, let's say, biomass, and then you submit your paper to the thermal incineration plant journal, immediately it will be rejected. You have to select the right journal. Are you sure something to say? Where is the best place to say it? You want to put it in the journal or you want to put it in a book? A genuine contribution to knowledge, original. I receive sometimes papers where they say that, to them that is novel. Composting using cow manure and let's say a new type of plant material. And they think that is fantastic. Innovation. Editors say tweak because that work has been done 50 years ago. If my professor used to tell me, the research usually goes in a cycle every 25 years. I mean, what has been done 25 years ago, somebody will come and propose it like a new project. But it is not a new project. So this happens. This happens and the youth thing is new, but then people in that area, they say, this is rubbish. There's no innovation. That's the first thing they look at your submission. Is there something new that you want to say? But just changing the material that you're composting doesn't make it innovation. Please remember that. It doesn't make it possible. Innovation has been, I give you an example. The paper that got accepted within 1 week, my paper, it's on composting. But the title of the paper, we got in a few people, like 2 engineers and so on, they know anything about composting. We do the composting. But we say we can actually use the data that you produce, change the title, kinetics of composting. The moment we put the word kinetics of composting, it was sent to a journal, top class journal, and within a week, it got accepted. No need to do any corrections. Very minor. As I said, in my experience, I've published more than 450 papers. That is the only paper that got accepted within a week. Very rare. But the title is the catchy thing here. Not composting. It's kinetics of composting accepted. So what I'm trying to tell you is that use titles which are attractive and appealing to the editor. That's very important. And the next thing is, of course, you how to choose a journal. So I think this is important.
how you choose a journal, you look at all these things. Review examples of papers. So if you choose a journal and then you say, okay, I decided this journal is relevant to my area of research. Okay, fair enough. Then what do you look for? You look for that journal online or published versions. Look at the papers in that journal and see whether the papers that has been published is actually good to you, it's relevant and it's in your area. Otherwise, change the journal and you need to look at elsewhere. Because as I said, there are thousands and thousands of journals. But if you send it to the wrong journal, it will be rejected immediately. So that is very, very important. Choose the journal. And then any indications of rejection rate, as I told you just now, the waste management research, the rejection rate is about 80%. But some other journals maybe is a bit lower. Some may be even higher, I don't know. But the important thing is, if the rejection rate is high, doesn't mean your paper will be rejected. You must follow your own style and then look at the innovation that you are looking for. You can get it done. And the important thing is impact factor. Everybody here knows what is an impact factor. Because when you want to look at the quality of the journal, whether the journal is very good, we look at the impact factor of the journal. And you know how impact factor is calculated? So they actually look at 2 years before, like now it's 2023. They look at 2021, 2022, the total number of papers. Let's say you're published in that 2021, 2022, you're published, let's say, 100 papers, and the citation, people cite the papers. Citation is, let's say, it's 400. So 400 divided by the number of papers you have published in the last 2 years, not this year. So if you're published, your citation is 400, you have published 200, 400 divided by 200. So that is your impact factor. And then based on the impact factor, the journals are classified as Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Q1 is the best journal. Like waste management is Q1. Waste management and research is Q1. Like the Japanese paper, I think is Q2 or Q3. So you must go for Q1. That's what I will tell you. Aim for Q1 and see whether you can publish it in Q1 journal. That is what you should do. Not straight away think that I think my work is not good, I'll go for Q4. No, not that way. So go for Q1, that impact factor is very hard. And try around. So that is very important. The impact factor of the journal must be really good. Okay. Now, how do you prepare the paper? At the start, I told you just now, the most important thing the editor looks for is the knowledge, innovation. If your paper is talking the same thing, everybody is talking, it will be rejected. The largest number of paper that comes to waste management research is number 1 is from China, number 2 is from India, and then other countries, UK, US, Europe. But you know, the rejection rate for Chinese papers are lower than the rejection rate for Indian papers. Why? You see, I actually personally have talked to Indian professors to solve this problem because I've been the senior editor in chief, and I'm an Indian. I feel embarrassed when we have the annual meeting. We say rejection for India is so high, rejection to China is not, and it's going down. Then we found out from China that every top university in China, they have what is called an editorial office. When you prepare a journal paper, when it's ready, you give it them first. Don't send it to the journal. They will edit for you the grammar, language, everything they will edit. They may not be a champion in your subject, but they will edit. You know why I'm saying this? When you write the abstract, when the editor actually reads the abstract, if there are more than 5 mistakes in the abstract, the paper will be rejected. They won't even bother to read the paper. If they read the abstract, they found 5 mistakes. It could be grammar, it could be language, and it could be factual. Like if you write a statement saying that this paper is on composting, which people have not done, that's a wrong statement. Composting has been done more than 100 years. So that's one mistake. So as I said, 5 mistakes in the abstract, they will reject your paper. No need to read the rest of it.
So that is the papers are edited for grammar and language, and is eliminate those mistakes. And that is one of the most important things that is. So writing abstract should be the last thing you do when you are writing a paper. You must write the paper like abstract at the end. Okay, so this is the structure. Of course, structure can change according to the journal, and you can actually decide on the structure. You don't have to follow the exact structure of the journal that is you're doing, but these are the most important things that you must have in your paper. And then how do you prepare the paper? This gives you more detail. Submit to one journal. This is another unethical thing people do. Actually, they say, why should I submit one paper here? The same paper, submit 3 places. That's wrong. I have come across cases where I was informed that one of the paper went to the referee writes back to me saying that I actually reviewed this paper for the other journal, same paper. Now it's coming from your picture. That is this author has submitted the paper to more than one journal. That is unethical in the academic world. You cannot do that, you shouldn't do that. And the journal will blacklist you. In our case, we blacklist this guy. And we want to go one step further. We write to the director or the vice chancellor of the university saying that this guy is done it. But generally, we don't do that. But we can do that. Yeah, it is very unethical practice. Please don't do that. Because when you submit the paper, sometimes within a week or two, the paper will be rejected. It's okay. Then you try it at the journal. But when you resubmit the paper to another journal, make sure that you change the format. One journal's format may not be the same as the others, especially the references. Some journals like the references number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then at the back you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Some journals no, you have to put the name, first name, and the year. So the format is different. You prepare a paper for this journal, the format you have put in the text, okay, the name and the year, and then at the back you arrange it according to APA. Like it's rejected. You want to rewrite, then you go to another journal, you send the same paper. You didn't change the format. Of course, they will reject it because they know that this paper is prepared for some other journal. You just send it there. It will be rejected. Okay. I don't have much time, but we can discuss. This is how we do it. Paper comes in, editor screen the paper, then it goes to the editor. If the editor accepts, goes to the peer review, then comes back to the editor, who makes the decision, and then it is finally minor correction or major correction or whatever they will convey to the and then when there is accept or reject. Then if your paper is required revisions, then you have to do the revisions. Every point by point you have to rebut it. If there are 50 points that raised by the reader, you make sure that you line up the 50 points and give a rebuttal. If you think that 1 or 2 is not important, no, they will not accept it. And then the white paper gets rejected. So these are the reasons sometimes. Okay. So this is for 2018. 87% are those who rejected. Mostly below here. Okay, so these are some of the reasons for this particular journal. Of course, it is applicable to other journals. Okay, and like when you are writing the methodology, it has to be the past tense. Sometimes I receive paper where they will tell the way the paper is written, they say, take a beaker, put it under the. They are telling me to do it. I laugh at it, but I reject it. That's what they do. See, you have to put it in past tense method. When it comes to discussion, you have to discuss critically and not describe. You see, when you see a graph going up and then it's going down, and then in your discussion you say that, oh, the graph goes up 5 days and then later then it comes down. The editor is not blind, you can see that. Don't do that. Ask questions why. If the thing is going up, you ask why. Explain the mechanism. So why is it going down after that? Explain the mechanism. That's what they are expecting. So it's not a description, just a description. That's for for actual discussions, and then, okay, time's up. Anyway, I'll go through my slide.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay, so we have time for discussion. We have 20 minutes, so we will still discuss. Yeah, these are your responsibilities, contribute knowledge. Now, dissemination. Okay, this is very important. I told you. Once you publish a paper, they don't forget about it. You should promote your paper. Then only you get your citations. People know that, okay, you have published this paper. And then they will cite your paper when they are writing their paper. Citation is very important because academics will tell you, because every year they look at how many citations you got this year. And how much
I'm checking everything.
so you can check. You can go to say like a Google Scholar, you get out Google Scholar, everything will come. All my papers will come, the abstract will be there, it will show the citation index, it will show the H index and everything. So you want to see it's improving over the days and months. It's very important. You have publicized the work and you create links like, for example, you can use anything like LinkedIn or website, Facebook. Nowadays you can do that, and those days actually we didn't have all this. We used to buy what we call preprints. So when we publish a paper, the journal asks me how many preprints you want to buy, 50 or 100 or 200, and you pay for it. Then the paper will come to us. Then we give it to you personally, one copy. That's what we do, because we can't, there are no social media those days. Now it's much easier. Okay, so increase the visibility and so on. Promote the paper, very important. Now we have all this media. And finally, ask for help. Okay, I will stop here. And as the co-chair, the professor, Asan is not here, only I'm here. So, yeah, but we have an open discussion. Do you have any questions generally? Yeah.
Nowadays, people are using the part about chat GPT. It's very famous in the young generation. Like, they are using for anything to find. We don't know what is the meaning of circular economy, we don't know what is the meaning of e-waste or whatever it's to be done. And I will be some like that as well for some journals and I don't know about the circular economy. So I sometimes I got cases in fact, like I know they are checking in the first step, they are checking, there is a step into, but one of my interns came and he was the paper and said, it's not your language. It's like you can recognize and you can use it, you can see it, but not put the same language because it's not good. It's not like a professional word they are using. So that's just secure that part. But use it, but not use proper language.
Thanks, Anupam. Actually, ChatGPT, when it came in, everybody was excited. They say, oh, fantastic, I can talk, I can tell anything I want. But it has become a headache now. Because, like, for example, last semester exam, when I was marking the papers, one answer looked very interesting. And I know this is not this answer. Then we have a software to check.
Yes.
Both we have two softwares. One for the copying, and then the other one for ChatGPT. And you will find the percentage. This guy is like 60 or 70%. So one examiner said, I'm going to give him 0. He's not going to take that. No such thing. My university actually allows, if it is plagiarism, we allow 20%. Plagiarism, not ChatGPT. No, it's not there. I'm talking in that sense. But that is for plagiarism. So if we find the reading is below 20%, we allow. But for ChatGPT is a different story altogether. This guy takes 60%, 70%, he didn't answer everything he had to base. So we can see that that's a problem now. Yeah. And but journal editors, they are so used, they get, as I said, we get more than 1,000 papers. We can actually say this is out. We can tell. Yeah, okay. I thought something else was, yeah, please.
in the most of papers published, the field study is this. Field study. I have seen some of the papers they are publishing. Their reality is something academia is not. So, how do you assess that?
I think journals actually don't differentiate whether it's a field work or lab work. What is very important is that it is innovative. That's what they look for. Second thing is that whether you have sufficient replication. You see, like I was telling you, the moment they see a graph and then the graph doesn't show the mean and standard deviation, the first thing the impression this student or this person didn't do replications. And then I sometimes receive papers where they say we analyzed the water sample over a period of 3 months. That's all. How many samples you took, how many replicates you took, those things are missing. We rejected. So the methodology is not repetitive. So sometimes, whether it's industrial or whether it's a practical, whether it's a theoretical, lab work, it doesn't matter. What is important is it, are you reporting something? That's what they do.
But if you don't have the real study, how the innovative is something which will not come from the field. Unless until we have some kind of experience. For example, I am telling one thing. Then you see 20 years back bench car, and today the bench car is the model, this one, it is a slow development. Okay, then without the practical experience, how the innovative is. So, in many papers I have seen, there is a lacking in the field study, sample study, and real working. These are the things I observed in the paper.
Okay, you are right. So they do look at all these things, whether you have got proper application, proper sampling techniques, all these are actually looked by the peer team. But sometimes, next one. So we have to ensure that we do take care of those issues. Yes.
So I have actually two questions. My first question is that I actually want an expert opinion from you that how we can do the literature review perfectly. Because I faced this difficulty that I put some paper, I read them, and when I'm writing in the middle of the paper, I found a new paper which gives some new perspective, and it just messes up the whole idea of what I initially thought about it. So I need your expert opinion that how can we, arrange these things. And my second question is that we are always encouraged to follow the references for methodologies for everything. But what if that I'm working on some methodology where I couldn't find any specific direction on how to do this thing? So that's when I have to implement something new in my research, and I have no references for that. So it gives kind of lack of confidence to us that I'm doing this out of nowhere and I have no reference. So what is your suggestion in that case?
Okay, for the first question, actually, actually you are writing literature review. This is something I didn't mention. So when you see, sometimes I receive paper where the literature review, there are, let's say, 20 references, what the author, first paragraph, it says, Anupam said this, Mohanty said this, next paragraph. Next one, they say, Mukherjee said this. That is the wrong approach. Because you must have critical discussion in your literature review itself. That literature review will help you in your discussion. Because you see, you usually be telling this, he said this, she said that, no, that's bad. So you are actually
But sometimes you take up a theory. 5 people may actually say certain things, another 2 people may say the opposite thing. But you have to include all the samples, saying that, okay, A, B, C, D say this, but you also have people who are repeating this. That is a good repeating. That means you are critically describing them. Now, your second part. Now, if you are actually coming up with very new technology and you say that it is not published or it is not available in any journal, that's okay. But whatever you write, if somebody wants to repeat, they must be able to read. That is the criteria. If you have come up with a method, then if he is trying to repeat your work and it doesn't work at all, he tries to use your method, it didn't work at all, then your method will be rejected. That's the criteria. There's nothing wrong in coming up with new methods, nothing wrong. But it must be repeatable by other people. That is one of the I can share.
How old we can now most scientific journals don't accept papers which are published beyond the point because technology is changing the way we look at this. In waste management standard, how long can I go and get
Normally, literature review should be within 5 years. And but you may get some classical papers beyond that you can put them because if for example the father of fermentation or something, you can ignore it. So, but usually they say that keep to within 5 years your references. And probably if you're writing a paper and let's say you have published one paper before, you try to put your paper in. That yeah.
So that's in connection to Lisa actually. So I'm really happy for your guidance.
Just press it once.
So thank you, Professor Arun. I'm really happy, especially for your discussion. Actually, also I think also I'm not there. Especially how to publish the article. Regarding the list of questions, actually, I think so. You have to kind of gather actually what exactly you want to know. That's the first thing. Another thing is that how will be the novelty actually? Or you mentioned that you have to do this one. It should be the new one. That's the one thing. In that case, there is no aim. For the research in the publications, there is no shortcut. You should learn, you should read. That's why the literature review is also very important. What happened in our case, the 3 researchers with me, only one researcher, we received the 4 kinds of revisions. And we submitted, we still were waiting, we submitted the last division around 3 or 4 months, we still were waiting for the final decision. Another thing is that we submitted the revisions and we got the acceptance within only 2 days later. Mr. He is also waiting for the his details actually, the what of the novel, the what of the quality of the paper. So I think it's very good. So is there any, could you please share the presentation to us in the PDF file or something? Is it possible? Yeah, I think it will be helpful, especially for the students. There will be a clear chance. I have no problem. You can get the slides from the organizers. Yes. I have no problem. I would be happy to share it so that the younger people actually. Yeah, I think so. It's very good for that. Any last question or comments? Yes.
Sir, my question is basically as an English student, we are basically studying business research methods as a subject. So we are mostly asked to prepare questionnaires. So what is the best method to prepare questionnaires for the research purposes? Like if we are doing a market research or some topic, and then in the research methodologies, we use the questionnaire method. So how to prepare that?
Okay. Questionnaire problem is it's a little bit difficult to publish. But sometimes that is the main method that we are using. So you have no choice, isn't it? So you have to the number of questions you prepare, and that is not important. You may be having 20, 30, 40, 50 questions. But are you actually interviewing the people in front, the questionnaire in front of you, or you just submit the papers to them, the questionnaire to them on social media? Like that way, sometimes the answer they give may be not so. That's one of the issues. That we do a lot of questionnaires for my master's students because there is level for them. But the second point is more important. How do you analyze the results and what kind of statistics you use? That is how it makes it higher. You see, I forgot to tell you that in when you are publishing any scientific paper, if you can introduce a model, it will go one level higher. That's very important. Otherwise, you will stay at that level. If you even for your questionnaire, you can use a lot of modeling and a lot of statistics. So that it raises the quality of your publication. Then you have a greater chance of acceptance. Okay, thank you, sir. So I think we have 5 minutes to wrap up. I think we had an interesting discussion how to publish, and if you, I will be here today and tomorrow, and if you want to come and talk to me in person, I'm very open for discussions, and because I like to help the younger generation. I can see him growing from to now he's a associate professor now, asking he knows me. So no problem, we can discuss further if you need any guidance. And my email is always with the every time. Even 2 emails will be I will be able to oblige. Usually agree within the day. No problem. So I hope you all benefited from this session. Sadan Kumar asked me to initiate this session. I said I'm very happy to do this because I really like to make sure that the generation benefits from what we have done for the last 20 years. We shouldn't go to the grave without designing it. Okay, if that's the end of this section, I will officially close it now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Professor Salim. Thank you, Co-Chair, Professor Agarwal. With this, we are wrapping up the last session for room number 203 for the 13th edition of International Conference. And with this, the last activity for us, the group picture of all the delegates, the students, and all the organizers as well. With this, before calling the photograph and a day, I would like to please request we have lunch for all the delegates down in the Govinda canteen, and to make sure to not miss the exhibitions in front of the management stall. And if any of the delegates are interested for the industrial visit plan for tomorrow, kindly inquire with any volunteer or at the registration desk in the amphitheater. Now I would request everybody to please come and stay for the picture. And I would also request all our online participants to turn the videos on. Thank you, Madam Chair. And if you could have all the videos on, we would love to have a picture with everybody.
Yeah, please come. We use the group photo and we want
yeah, a couple of people can stand back and go to
like this. Professor Asari. You can come here.
Hello, ma'am. This is.
Hello.
You can speak.
That's fine, ma'am. वो actually lecture नहीं आएगा. Project is now. Yes.
It's for me.
Yes.
Ma'am, very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Dr. Thorin from Geetam University, India. I just I would like to talk with you. I'm working in the area of operations research, circular economy, and I'm a data analyst. Yeah, that I think you're the chief editor to one of your the journal. Just I want to connect with you. Can you please? That means how can I reach out to you?
Okay. So, can I see the chat of the Facebook?
Can I? Yeah, it's LinkedIn is there.
So I will input my email address. So
yeah,
please email to me.
Sure.
Can you see
the chat?
MEZASE.
Yeah. I think majorsu530@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, I'll be in touch with you, ma'am.
I'm waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. At the next conference, we'll be hosting in Visakhapatnam, the 14th ICONIS W.
Great. Yeah.
And we would like to collaborate with you.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Thank
definitely,
you.
along with my professors, we'll be in touch with you, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.
Yeah. Can you please give me this mail ID to me?